please ask question in a chat box. So Dr. Ravindra Kale, please give a
Yeah.
short introduction.
Yes. Hello, everybody. Myself, Ravindra Kale, and as one of the organizing member of today's webinar, I thanks Dr. V.K. Patil sir for his talk. And I welcome Dr. Ulhas Kadam, who is our next speaker. And before start his talk, I would like to give the brief introduction about Dr. Ulhas Kadam. He has completed his bachelor's and master's degree from the Vasantrao Naik Marathwada University, Parvani, India. And for his further higher education, he went to USA and he's completed his MS and PhD from the Purdue University. After that, he came back to India and served as a research scientist at Center for the Science and Technology, Pune. And he also received a prestigious Young Scientist Served DST award, which is given by the government of India in 2016. And currently, Dr. Ulhas Kadam sir is working as a Humboldt Research Fellow at Max Planck University, Germany, Institute for the Plant Physiology, Germany. And he also involved in the career guidance talks for the young life science graduates in India as well as the abroad. And today also he will give a talk about the academic career opportunities for at the national as well as the international level. So I request Dr. Ulhas Kadam sir to please start his presentation and talk. Thank you.
Hello everyone, especially thank you Dr. Sopanwak for inviting me and to give this talk. It was very interesting talk by Honorable Dr. V.K. Patil about all these activities of the Dhaneshwari Society. And today, what I'm going to give the information is mostly about what are national level and international level career opportunities in academia for biotechnology students. Okay, so here what I am assuming is most of you are doing undergraduate degree in biotechnology or in some kind of life sciences. So this talk is more focused for students who have already enrolled for bachelor's degree, and maybe you are in stage of getting master's degree as well. So the first thing I would like to ask you is why you are interested in career in academia. So it doesn't matter whether it is at national level or international. So this is the first question you should ask yourself when you are looking for careers, any careers, and especially if you are looking for the career in academia, because there are many reasons. I'm going to say those reasons in this lecture, that why you should look for the career in academia. And there are a number of reasons, but for today's talk I have shortlisted 7 reasons that why you should go in academia. But these are the reasons I'm going to give you. Maybe you have different reason or different explanation, justification, that you want to pursue your career in this field, and especially in academia. So the number one reason I want to say is that when you go in academia, then that is the number one reason is the teaching, the love for teaching, that you love or you like to be to teach or to be a teacher, and that should be a number one reason. And sometimes you get for wrong reasons, I don't know, there might be a different number of wrong reasons that you go into academia. But if you don't like teaching, or if you don't like to work with students or other professors or other teachers, then maybe academia is not right place for you. So the number one reason why you should go in academia is you should like teaching. And by doing this, by showing your love for teaching, you can actually have impact on students' life for long term. And so for long term, you are going to change the lives of students, and just not one student or 10 students. You are going to impact the life of students and their students and their students. So this way you are going to have very huge impact. And if you want to have this kind of impact, then going into academia is the right choice. The second reason I'm going to say is the mentoring. So in this way, so the mentoring is, so teaching is like you teach a student some course or some specific subject, but mentoring is more unofficial. And in this way, you direct the students, or you help them in unofficial position by giving some guidance, or by helping them in writing some paper or writing research article, these kind of things. So if you like mentoring, if you like kind of consulting and helping the students, then you should go into academia. The third reason I think you should go in academia is, here you get to follow your passion or you follow your interest. So if you are really passionate about some field, especially biotechnology, so you can dive deep in this field and find out the truth. And that is the, that is why if you have a passion for some field, then definitely academia is going to be a good answer for your this choice. And therefore I really highly recommend students who have strong passion for life sciences or for biotechnology or for some specific problem, and if you want to find out solution for that problem in life sciences or biotechnology, then definitely you should go about career or about your long term option in academia. Then the next reason that I would like to ask you is to find out that here in academia you get opportunity to collaborate with other people. Okay, so maybe you are working in biotechnology or life sciences, and then in like biotechnology or life sciences is a very collaborative field. It involves interaction with people who are working in chemistry or physics or mathematics or statistics. You are doing a lot of modeling or bioinformatics. So here you get opportunity to collaborate with other people. And this way, like you might have some idea about solving some biotechnological problem, but you may not be able to solve it by yourself, so you have to collaborate. And the academia gives you this opportunity to collaborate with vast number of people, as and these collaborations can be nationally as well as internationally. And there are number of agencies who give collaborative research funding or projects, so that way you can build your own team, the people who you like, and you can build around that. You can develop some ideas or research proposals and try to solve that problem. So this way, you by collaboration you will be able to solve these community problems or societal problems with much easier or much faster way. The second, the another reason that you should look for career in academia is you get a freedom to do what you like, as well as you get autonomy. So you become autonomous, many other fields, like even in industry or some other administrative uh, level jobs, there you don't have much autonomy. That means you have to follow strict protocols or strict guidelines. But in academia, you are autonomous. Like you can develop your own project, you can develop your own timings, and you can come up with your own ideas, and you have to find some financial support. And if you have your own idea, you write this research proposal, submit to some agency, and then if you get the funding, you become the autonomous. You are like a principal investigator, and you can do the research on particular topic, the topic which you like. And that thing is not going to happen in industry or in administration, because in industry what you have to do is you have to make it profitable, or you have to have a commercial idea, and that idea may be somebody's else. It's not going to be your idea. So that is why I say it's very important that in academia, if you stay in academia, then definitely you have this level of autonomous or autonomy, and that way you can follow your own idea. You just need to find your own funding. Another reason that you should work in academia is there is a high level of stability, and this is, if you are the person who loves stability. Stability means what is going to happen tomorrow, or whether I will have my job after this, in this coronavirus pandemic and all this. The industry people or even administration people, they don't know if their company is going to go bankrupt, or if they will lose some job, or if their company is going to decide to lay over a lot of people. So that kind of things rarely happen in academia, because it's not directly related to market, and it's more stable in university or research institutes. Here the numbers, like the employees, the number of employees doesn't change drastically due to economic downturn and all this. So this field will have very high number of stability, economic stability. And one final reason I want to give is why you should look for going into academia is opportunity to travel. You will get a lot of opportunity to travel internationally as well as nationally, and this could be through your collaborations, or for teaching, giving invited talks or invited lectures. Or sometimes you can also go for conferences, attending conferences or meetings, scientific societies. Or sometimes you will be going as a reviewer, like as an interviewer. So this academia will also bring you a lot of opportunities to travel nationally as well as internationally. Okay, so this was my first part of talk, that why you should go abroad, sorry, why you should focus your career in academia. And then the next thing I want to say is how you can stay in academia. And to stay in academia, actually, it needs some characteristics. It needs some features in your education. Like you have to develop your CV and resume, and these features and characteristics, that you, how you can stay in course so that you can build your career in academia. And for this, the first thing you have to do is develop a strong educational background. Okay, so I don't say, yeah, that you have to go to very prestigious school or prestigious university. It doesn't matter from where you graduate. Like if you get education from a very good university, okay, that is additional point. But later on you have to prove your credential. Okay, just having degree from a very good university is okay, it will give you entrance. It will open a door into some kind of career. But later on you have to perform, you have to show your performance. And for that, there is nothing that is going to help you rather than having a very strong educational background. And that is, you have to develop this strong background by studying yourself on your own. So you have to be very self starter. Okay, so that you read everything about that field, what is the latest and what are the fundamentals. So that could be reading some biochemistry book or some genetics book, and knowing it by heart, knowing these principles, knowing the concept by heart, and also getting updated with the recent trends, recent technologies. So this is one thing that you should focus on. And that could be taught in the university or in your college, but you are responsible for this. So you have to be the self starter, you have to take the own responsibility. Since you are passionate about this field, then you have to learn these things on your own. The then second thing is, you have to stay open minded. Okay, like if you are saying like I'm in biotechnology or I'm just microbiologist, and then maybe there is something comes up like this, now this current situation of coronavirus. So you have to be open minded about this current opportunities. So maybe at this point you can switch your research interest related to careers in viruses or coronaviruses, and or if you know some basics of genetics, you can divert your focus and get more funding and more research opportunities. In current situation, like you cannot always stagnant, or if you want to have a career in this field, you have to stay open as well as new people and moving to new places, or finding new options. So this way you can get more opportunities, and your career will move forward very fast. Then second thing, additional thing that you need to do in if you want to make impact, or if you want to progress fast in academia, is develop some soft skills. The soft skills such as data analysis as well as communication skills, like talking in front of audience of 10 people or 20, like explaining your ability to explain your ideas in a very simple way to non-science people, like a layman. Because many times if you are writing a grant, or if you are presenting your idea, and then if you want to get money to do research, then you should be able to explain this idea in simple language, simple terms, so that everybody understands, and then you can get that funding. Then only you can empty their pockets. Otherwise, if you go with your science and all, if you explain everything you know in a very scientific way, or with your biotechnology jargon, nobody is going to understand, and they will say, okay, this guy maybe is smart, but we don't understand him, so we don't fund him, or we don't hire him as a faculty or as a researcher. So that's why you should be able to explain your ideas in very simple terms but effective way. The next thing is, if you want to stay and become successful in academia, is you should build a very strong networking. And this networking is going to be the students, alumni of your university, maybe someone from your local area. If you are going, if you want to go abroad, then you can find out some Indians or some Marathi or Maharashtrians who moved from your place to some other places, and try to contact them. Because most of the times, if you go to LinkedIn, and you will find that in a recent survey actually, that it is found that 80% of the jobs, new jobs, they never get posted on LinkedIn or in any employment news or any employment website. More 80% of the jobs people get is through referral. And through this, there are many advantages, that people get a trustworthy person, they know somebody, like I know someone, and that can go there and join. So this way they can reduce the time, as well as a lot of this hiring, advertising, and all this, inviting someone to give a talk or interview, this cost money. So these 80% of jobs that people get is through referrals. And for these referrals, you should build a network. Just start writing emails, or call them and say, I'm bachelor's in this field, I want master's or PhD. And then they will help you, and everybody wants to help. So having a strong network is definitely going to boost your career in academia as well as in many other fields. And the final thing I want to say is, if you want to be successful in academia, then you have to keep updating your skills. Okay, this was actually a small story I want to share. Is there is this guy, woodcutter, and there are two guys, two woodcutters, and they are given same job to cut the woods in a jungle or forest. And one guy, he works hard like 8 hours or 10 hours per day, and the other guy, he also works hard, but every hour he takes a break and he sharpens his axe. Okay, and that way he keeps his skills, and by the end of the day, or by the end of the duration, he cuts more woods, way more than the other guy. And this way, if you update your skills consistently, you are going to be smarter and more effective and more productive. And that is why you should constantly update your skills, and that way you will be a very impactful researcher or academician. The next thing I want to see, so these are the reasons how, sorry, these are the few things that how you can build your strong um, academic career. The next thing I want to say is what you can do to build your academic career. So now I assume that most of you have a bachelor's degree, and here the one thing you can do is, if you want to stay in academia or more in university or research institute field, is go for higher education, that is for master's degree. And if you have master's degree, go for PhD degree. And this you can do in India as well as abroad. So in India, a lot of nowadays, many universities, IITs, IISc, so these are actually top level, but also some like University of Pune and many other universities, they have these masters university programs. There are national level entrance exams in biotechnology. For PhD, you have CSIR NET. And if you do this, then you can actually go for PhD. And if you want to go for abroad, then you need to you, you need to do some additional, you need to appear for some additional exams like GRE and TOEFL. And TOEFL is for US, but for other countries you will be, you have to go for IELTS, that is another English test. And there are also other countries which don't have English as their main language, like Germany or Finland or Denmark, even Japan, Italy. So these countries also you can look up as other option, and here you will have to learn their language. And that is language level, maybe beginner or like middle kind of intermediate level. And this learning takes around 2 to 3 months, but I think that is also very good option. Like if you learn some German or other languages, that also helps you to become more proficient uh, about your academic as well as other options. Okay, once you finish your master's degree or even PhD degree, then there are a number of opportunities in academics open up for you. If you have PhD or even with masters, if you have that NET exam qualified, then you can become a lecturer or a professor with PhD. And with PhD, you don't have to clear the CSIR NET or ICR NET to become professors. But if you don't have PhD, without PhD, with masters, you can also become lecturer. But nowadays, UGC is coming up with new conditions, new terms, that mostly PhD students will be able to become professors now on. Another thing is, you can also, like if you don't want to do PhD, if you just want to go with bachelor's degree or master's degree, then there will be a lot of universities which need academic support staff. Okay, support staff in terms of lab manager or technicians. So lab managers will be doing it will be like ordering some chemicals or taking making sure that your lab is uh, in order. Also technicians will do some specific experiments. And technicians, they will just follow some kind of orders or some protocols. They won't be interested in publishing research papers or these things. So additionally, at master's level or PhD level, if you don't want to do teaching as well as or research, there are other options like uh, you can become an editor or assistant editor with, if you have very good scientific writing background, or if your English skills are very good, then you can become editor. Or some companies, actually some industries today, they also hire some educational consultants, and these educational consultants, as educational consultant, you will be as a content developer or content writer. So you will be helping them writing some academic books or some kind of scientific writing, or ghost writers. So because nowadays a lot of people do freelancing, so in freelancing you can become a ghost writer about biotechnology field. uh, Nowadays one more thing is coming up, that is IPR, okay, intellectual property rights. And in this one you can be a reviewer for writing research papers, as well as some patent officer or patent reviewer. So these kind of new facilities, new faculties are opening up, and new opportunities are opening up. So now with this short description of many career opportunities you have for biotechnology, I would like to stop giving my lecture, and now I will request students to ask questions. And if you have any specific questions, I will be more than happy to answer them. Or to who is going to
Hello,
yeah.
sir. Mr. Rushikesh Sonone want to know how we get scholarship for studying in abroad.
Okay. To get scholarships for abroad, actually Indian government's Ministry of HRD is there, and they have this website now, Ministry of Education. So you can also go there and you can find out that international, like many international governments, they work with Indian government and they post their opportunities there. For example, for Japan there is this MEXT fellowship, you can apply through those. And if you want for like American universities, you actually or European universities, you can also look for the opportunities. This is constantly they advertise these posts, vacancies for PhD. And there you can apply directly, or you can also develop contact, just I said about networking. You can keep contacting the professors over here. If you are in final year or like third year, um, from that time you can just keep writing an email. Oh, dear professor, I want to do masters or PhD in your field. And then they might be interested, and they might ask for your CV and resume, and this way you develop your networking. And maybe this way you will get a scholarship. And this is how I actually myself I got scholarship or fellowship from Purdue University for my masters and PhD. Yes. Okay. Any other question? I hope I answered that question.
Uh, Here, Akshay Patil is asking that, sir, is there any IPR course? Like,
IPR course, I'm not sure. Like, definitely there are. Okay, but I don't remember the name. But there are definitely a number of IPR scores, as well as, see, nowadays this biotechnology has become very interdisciplinary sciences. And now a lot of law schools, okay, uh, maybe Stanford kind of, Boston University. So these lot of law schools, they are offering these IPR courses, because this IPR is also, you also need a lot of law information. Okay, so that's why many law universities, law colleges, they provide these IPR courses. But I cannot tell the name right now. Yeah.
uh, okay, thank you. There is another one question that teacher can get research upon opportunity to work in any lab under the faculty exchange program for shorter duration.
Yes, definitely. There are a number of opportunities in US as well as in Germany. Actually, there is a website. There is a program called DAAD. They have their own website. It's called, they call DAD Fellowship or DAR Fellowship. So you can look up for this program. So this is academic exchange program, and in this academic exchange program, you can go abroad from 1 week till a couple of years, 1 or 2 years. And what you have to do is you have to find some host, academic host here in Germany, or maybe in US, or other countries. Many countries have these academic exchange programs, and this for this you just need to contact the program officer as well as the universities, host labs in advance. And then whenever such ad or advertisement is there put on the website, then directly you can apply. But definitely, yeah, there are a number of academic exchange programs that are available for teachers as well as researchers. Hello.
Ravi, is there
Yeah,
any
yeah.
question?
No, I think that's it. So,
There is one. Someone is asking now that which university is best for the biotechnology study abroad. And another one question is, does
from
learning language of a country is essential for abroad study?
so that will be our next things.
Okay, so the first question is, which university is best for biotechnology? Okay.
Biotechnology.
Mm, okay, there are a lot of rankings. There are like a number of ranking agencies are there, and they publish these rankings for each course and each faculty. But I really don't believe in these rankings, especially if you are going for a PhD. For masters, maybe these rankings help, and based on these rankings you can find out which university is the best for biotechnology. But I don't go with this marketing, this is the best or this is the number one ranked university. What you should go with is the find out right professor and maybe right department. If the professor who publishes a lot, and if the professor who gets a lot of funding like research projects, that kind of professor, that kind of university you should go for. Because if a professor who has a number of research projects with him, then you are actually going to work on cutting edge project, cutting edge technology. Then you will not have any shortage of resources, money or chemicals or space. And this way you can do your research freely. But if you go to some number one ranked institute, and if you find a professor who may be at the retirement stage, and he may not have funding, or who is like in middle phase and who is not publishing quite often, then this kind of is not, this is kind of misleading, and this is not going to help you to build your career. Okay, so what I suggest is find a professor and find a department who have a lot of funding, as well as who publish a lot in very good journals. Okay, like journals like Nature, Science, or PNAS. So this kind of journals, if they publish consistently, then you should go for such universities, such departments, or such programs. And I hope that is okay. The next question is, does learning language, okay, of a country is essential? In some countries, yes, it is required. That especially in Germany, if you come for masters or PhD program, they ask you to learn to some extent like beginner or middle level. Like in German, they have this different levels from A1. A1 is a beginner, then A2, B1, B2, and C1, C2. C2 is like native speaker. So sometimes they ask you to become familiar with the A2 level or B1 level. And to get familiar with this level, you can do with using some apps. Like there is a Duolingo app, there are other apps, and you can get familiar with A2 level or B1 level, but you need to get some certificate. And yes, learning their language is definitely going to help you. It's definitely going to make you more sociable as well as proficient. You can go and talk to anyone, get more information. And also language, if you know another language, that is also sign of your intellect. Okay, people consider you more intellectual or more brilliant if you know some other language. If you just know one or two language, people also think maybe he is less intelligent, or this kind of things are there. And actually it helps. Like there are a number of scientific studies that if you know additional language, that definitely boosts your IQ. Your IQ becomes higher if you have information, if you are familiar with a different language. Okay.
One more question: whether nowadays people are approaching for masters during this COVID pandemic period? But now there rumors are there, like for doing masters in US or somewhere, we don't need to do GRE. IELTS and TOEFL is enough. Whether that is correct or it is just a rumor.
Okay, like there are two questions, like GRE
Yes,
is
sir.
essential or not, and other is due to this COVID-19.
Yeah, during this pandemic period, yeah, COVID pandemic period.
Yes, actually, COVID-19 is kind of unique situation, and like the world was not prepared for this. World is never prepared for such things, because these are kind of calamities, or it has affected everyone, not just you and me, worldwide, every nation, every population, every member. Okay, even the universities or the nations, governments, they don't know what to do, uh, how to overcome this situation. And this pandemic is going to stay there for some more time. We don't know how long. So don't get distracted by this thing. It is going to take 1 year or more time out of your career. But be prepared, like be prepared, like prepare yourself, like pandemic has not happened. And this way, uh, you during this time you can also focus on your creating, uh, becoming ready, creating your resume, or making yourself strong, so that whenever this pandemic is over, then you are stronger than everybody else, and then you can grab that opportunity. And the question about GRE is, yeah, there are a number of universities which say officially on their web page that GRE is not required. And for many masters program, the GRE is not required. But see, sometimes they also want students to join their programs. And the students who come through self funding, maybe GRE is not required. But if you want to get the funding and scholarship from the university or from somebody else, then having GRE is definitely going to boost your resume as well as boost your application. So if you have a GRE and good score, you will get scholarship, and then money will not be problem. And then you can be you don't create a burden on your parents, so you can go and study there. But if you don't have GRE, maybe then university will say, okay, we will give admission, but we are not giving you funding. You can come if you have your own money, or if you have your own support, financial support. So this way GRE is going to help you uh, in getting admission as well as funding. And there are a number of universities, very good universities. Even Purdue University on its web page says that GRE is not essential. But I have not seen any PhD student or master students there who have not taken GRE. So what it says is GRE is required. Okay, so I did not see anyone getting admission without GRE in US, in good universities. Okay, in like top 100 or top 200 ranked universities. But it is possible to get admission without GRE. It will be just little costly for you. Okay, any other question?
Okay. Uh, I think it's done, sir.
Okay,
So, so thank you, Dr. Ulhas, sir, for such an informative talk and addressing our all the questions. And hope the participant will get touch in with you in coming days, and they will be
sure,
available
sure,
for them.
sure. Yeah.
So
If
now I